Hello everyone, my name's Andy and welcome back to another crypto vlog. Today we're talking about forks. So what is a fork? I found a very good explanation here in Block Geeks. A fork is a condition whereby the state of the blockchain diverges into chains where a part of the network has a different perspective on the history of transactions than a different part of the network. That is basically what a fork is. It is a divergence in the perspective of the state of the blockchain. So what this means is that you have a certain amount of people supporting the network, and then let's say half of these people, 50%, they want to implement a new rule. They want to implement an update to the system. And when they do that, let's take as an example, they want to make the block size from 1 megabyte to 2 megabytes. In order for that to happen, they would have to split the blockchain because going into a 2 megabyte block with a new rule would not be backwards compatible to the original blockchain. So this means that the old users, that the people who would still support the original blockchain, would not be able to mine blocks in the new blockchain, in the 2 megabyte blockchain, and therefore they would see the 2 megabyte blocks as invalid in their history and would continue with the 1 megabyte. So this is what a hard fork is. It is a non-backwards compatible update to the network, and it requires a splitting of the network into two parts. But there's a couple of types of forks. There's the hard fork that we just described, and there's the soft fork. So what is a soft fork? The soft fork is kind of the opposite of that. So here in Coinbase, you can see the example. They're making an example of, so instead of increasing the size of the block, if you would decide to decrease it from 1 megabyte to 500 kilobytes, then this would deem the old users, the original users, to be able to see the new blocks as valid, but they would not be able to mine them. And as it explains here, what can go wrong when a soft fork is supported by only a minority of the hash power, in the network, it could become the shortest chain and get orphaned by the network, or it can act like a hard fork and no chain can splinter off. So, and if we read this one up here as well, non-upgraded nodes will still see the new transactions. 500K is less than 1 megabyte in this example, like we said. However, if non-upgraded nodes continue to mine blocks, the blocks they will mine will be rejected by the system because most of the users will have moved to the upgraded version. And this is why forks need the majority of the hash power in the network. Exactly. So if a soft fork is presented to the community, in order for it to work, it needs to have a big majority of the mining power for it to be, and with that it needs all of the users or most of the users to actually upgrade to the new version, so it can actually take place as the new updated version that now everybody agrees to use. SegWit is a very good example of this. When it was proposed that it needed 95% of the miners in order to be implemented. SegWit, I explained SegWit in my previous video, and it actually didn't go through 100% because it was part of the SegWit 2x and the New York agreement. But anyway, so in a nutshell, this is what a soft fork and a hard fork is. If you go to these pages here, you can read a bit more in detail, and because they explain very nicely what is exactly happening and how the chain split. This has been it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment with your thoughts or if you have any questions on this matter, and I'll try to get back to you. And I'll see you tomorrow.